What's up guys, welcome back to The Inverse Engineer. I'm Tarek Nasr and today's video is going to be walking you through the construction progress of the Rowland property. A little background about this property. I've acquired this property about a month and a half ago via the foreclosure auction. After I secured the property, I spent the next couple weeks putting together a scope of work, walking with contractors, bid leveling, making sure I chose the right partner to get this work done in the time frame I needed to be done. We are about in a little bit over a week from the construction progress. So it's been a little bit over a week since we started construction on this property. So this video is just going to give you guys a walkthrough of the construction progress and a little bit some things that haven't developed since then. So let's jump right in. All right, so a lot of demo has taken place in the past week. They actually started framing some components of the property. This here will be a pony wall. So when you walk in, you have a little bit of separation defining the living room and dining room. And this pony wall will allow furniture or couch to maybe put behind there or put up right up against it. So it just kind of helps develop the space. This will be wrapped with drywall to give it a nice modern finish look. We have still some debris left over in the property. Originally, I rented a 40-yard dumpster and had to pull a permit to put it in the street because of the driveway depth. It wasn't big enough to house it. So we filled that up and we dumped it. In order to save costs, I didn't want to order another dumpster and have to order another permit. So we're stockpiling a little bit of the remaining debris, and then we're going to coordinate, somebody to come pick it up with the truck and just pay them a dumping fee, which should be more economical than renting a full new 40-yarder. This is one of the guest suites. It's a bedroom downstairs, but it's quite large. It has its own wet bar, walk-in closet, as well as restroom. So in this room, we went ahead and demoed all the wallpaper. We left the rough-in for the two wall sconces, which we could use. And then we started to rough in some can lighting here. We're doing retrofit can lighting. It's a lot more economical than having to call in the space and do recessed housing. So and also a little bit more friendly with the joist layout. So this is what a finished product will look like. Right now we're gonna just rough in all the drivers and leave the electrical whips for connection at a later point. That will allow us to have the painters come in here and not have to mask and tape off each of these lights in. I'm assuming this light is just in here for testing the circuit and making sure the wiring was made up correctly. So we put two lights in this area as well, and then one above this wet bar. There was originally only one switch here for the wet bar. It had some under cabinet lighting. We're gonna go ahead and replace that, and then we'll put another switch to control this group of three. So demo has taken place in this restroom. So now going into just the hallway to the very first guest bath that we're doing a full remodel for. So this has been completely demoed. Previously we kind of had a lot of the material stockpiled here. All this has been off-hauled in the original dumpster. So here we had to pull the full surround off. We went ahead and framed in a full wall niche. So it goes wall to wall, about 16 inches high. We'll wrap it with tile to give it a nice modern look. And then we'll go ahead and put actually an electrical wire in there to do some LED niche lighting. We have the plumbing exposed. We're gonna be roughing in the new shower valves as well as putting in the new drain. Then we're gonna board it up with some substrate, and this will allow us to come in and waterproof the whole thing and start the tile work. Here's another bedroom downstairs. Here we started roughing in the ceiling as well. We did 4 ceiling lights and 1 fan in the center. And then we demoed all the carpet and whatnot. Here is the family room. So essentially this debris here is from demoing the fireplace. For the fireplace, we're gonna do 2 full porcelain slabs to kind of have a book match theme with the TV surface mounted. So I went ahead and drew up the dimensions for them to frame this to, and essentially they demoed it, and now you can see that they started to frame it out. So essentially, we start with the framing. We got to do a little bit of roughing for the electrical, audio visual. Once that's in there, we'll be able to board it up with the cement board, and then this is where we can install the porcelain slab on top of. You can see there's backing located here for the TV bracket. We need to do a couple more backing here. So this is still in progress. We also did rough in here for electrical. So we did about 6 different recessed lights, 3 on each side. We have a fan in the center. So when people are using this room, if it gets hot, they don't need to turn on the air conditioning. They can use the ceiling fan. What's left to be roughed in here is the surround sound. So we're gonna be doing 5.1 surround sound in this area. There'll be about 2 speakers in the back, 3 in the front, and then we would need to also locate the subwoofer. So I walked with my audiovisual guy, Zero Config AV. He's amazing, Ty Lee, shout out to him. So he came, walked the property with me, helped me kind of figure out what's the best way to route it to make sure we don't have to open up more walls than necessary. What we deemed is that this little area here is called a media niche. So we're basically gonna have to run all the speakers in the ceiling, the wire for the TVs. We're gonna have to run it to one central location. We decided that this would be the best location. And what we're gonna do is I could get either a media cabinet to be put along this wall and house all that audiovisual hardware in there. But one thing I thought about is since it is gonna be kind of hard to find a perfect TV media niche to kind of fill this area, I worked with my cabinet guy and I gave him the dimensions and I asked him, hey, give me a cost to just do a whole wall-to-wall lower cabinets with a countertop. That way it looks a little bit more custom. You could house the audio-visual equipment and it could complement the porcelain slabs here on the fireplace. So essentially you would have, a nice porcelain fireplace with a TV mounted, some nice lowers with a countertop where everything could be nicely housed, and it gives the owners a lot more space to store blankets, pillows, whatever they need for this family room. Here's progress in the kitchen. So not much has happened. We just basically demoed it originally, pulled off all the drywall because of some mold issues that we saw behind it. You could see that there's quite a bit of mold happening in this insulation. So we're gonna have to pull that out, re-insulate it. And a lot of this plumbing you can see was kind of ran along the face of the studs, which means you have to notch out the back of the cabinets quite a bit. So we're gonna see what it takes to run the plumbing within the studs so you don't have to notch out the back of the cabinets and build this thing out proper. Let's go make our way upstairs and see what has progressed. All right, so here is the master bedroom. This previously was interesting. There were some curtains here as well as some decorative framing that created some arches in this area. So you had like the master bath, the bedroom area here, the original sunroom, which we demoed, and that was gonna be a balcony. And this was like a suite portion of it where maybe you could, go in there, put a little office or whatnot. And the way we found that out is once we demoed it, we saw that, okay, there's some flooring that starts here. We don't know why. But when you come to this side, you come to this room originally had some wallpaper on it, or wall carpet on it. We demoed it, and then it came to reveal that this drywall was just mud and taped and was never finished with texture. So they actually put the carpet wallpaper on this, and essentially they created another room. So what we can do is either demo this wall and make the master bedroom a lot larger, but since it's already constructed and to save costs, we're gonna just finish this drywall to try to match everything in this room, and therefore we'd keep the extra bedroom. You still have a decent size of this master bedroom without it, so I think it'd be better just to keep it. There was a discussion of maybe should I just flush out the drywall here to make it nice and flat and clean. The reality is that I'm gonna have to spend time I'm gonna have to spend the cost to frame it, finish it, either move that wall back. So it's gonna be a lot more costly than anticipated. So I think the proper thing to do is just finish it off, do a nice clean recession. This can be a TV area with a dresser. So therefore, we still get the 2 separate rooms and we save costs by not having to frame this out. Here is progress in the master bath. So more demo has taken place. The vanity's completely gone now. All the tiles up, all the shower surround is off. Essentially, we pulled out all the hot mop area, and they started to frame in the shower wall niche here. Ideally, I wanted it to be the full width of the window, so technically they should have got rid of the stud so it could get a nice clean line with the window. I'm gonna have them fix that. This is why, even though you communicate with your contractors, you wanna make sure you do site visits constantly, because you could catch these things before it gets too far along. So I'll take a photo of it, tell them to notch that out, and therefore, because if right now, if you're gonna board this up plus put tile, it's gonna be a lot smaller than the width of the window. So I want them to bring the stud off, and we could wrap it with the same material here and here, and the tile could wrap here and here, and it looks nice, flush and clean. As you demo, you start to find out that there's little areas of mold that either happen because of the toilet leaks or the water line. These stub outs and quarter turn valves maybe have been leaking, so there is mold in some specific areas. So we'll have to go and treat that and just make sure that either the mold goes away, or we may have to pull off the drywall and see if there's a bigger issue. What you don't want to do is ignore it and just continue with construction, because that mold could come back. But here's another example where once you demo, you see mold conditions. So that toilet is pretty disgusting, but what we care about is obviously this mold. After doing so many of these renovation properties from foreclosures, you could pretty much always count on some type of mold showing up. No matter how old or recent the house is, there's always gonna be mold coming. I haven't found one where I had to do no mold mitigation. This house was built in '92. It's a fairly recent build. It's not even that old. But of course, I showed you some examples of where mold persists. So it's always important to kind of check those things. You can always account for it. So when you do your cost analysis, always make sure you put a little bit of contingency, a buffer for these unforeseen conditions. So that's about it, guys. Today's a quick video, just showing you overall progress. If there are any questions that come up, how I'm coordinating or giving the direction of how to construct things, please comment down below. If you find these videos helpful, please like or subscribe, even give it a thumbs up. Hopefully you found this video helpful and on the progress, and I'll keep making more content to try to help you guys along your journey on either renovations, finding properties, analyzing deals, and whatnot. So hope you guys found this video helpful. Until next time, see you guys later.